Alright, good morning, Big Strunks. We're back for another workout. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. So this is push B. Main lift is going to be overhead press. I think last time around we did Smith machine behind the neck overhead press. Today we're doing the shoulder press machine. Again, I like to do barbell squat, but my shoulders aren't having it anymore. So you can see the plates in the background starting out real light. Warming up really good first exercise. The gym was a little bit busy on the cables. Most of the time on pressing days I like to do a lot of shoulder warm-ups with the cables. Wasn't really an option today, so I'm just starting really light on the pressing movements, controlling the movement, feeling out that shoulder, seeing how it feels. So far so good. Here on this particular piece of equipment I learned something today. I was getting a little click in my right shoulder. As the weight went up, I ended up finishing pressing the whole stack for 2 or 3 sets. I think the stack on this machine is 200 pounds. Again, not the same as barbell press or push press or something like that. But again, a good sign of how my shoulder's doing. Was able to finish all the sets. Felt good. Felt heavy at the end for sure. Whereas I used to be able to rep this machine no problem for sets of 10. You know, I'd have to increase the volume. But the fact I was able to get through the workout, go heavy for a couple of sets, and my shoulder didn't explode, I'll take it. So already getting a little bit heavier, probably midway through the stack, I don't know, 70 to 100 pounds maybe. Having to control the reps. But what I found was, the thing I learned is a lot of times I let my head drift forward on pressing movements. I found that with the click I was getting in my shoulder, if I pressed my head into the bench and really focused on knitting my shoulders or knitting my scapula, like here where I'm pushing my head in the back, now I'm actively pushing my head into the bench and pressing heavy. That click in my shoulder went away. Whatever that means, I don't know. Feel free to let me know in the comments whatever that could mean. See here, definitely heavy weight, getting the most I can out of those last couple of reps. Alright, now we have the hammer strength incline press. Again, you see it went heavy on the first movement because it's the primary movement of the lift. For the rest of the workout, you'll see not going super heavy on anything. Taking a really wide grip on this incline press because I want to see how my shoulder feels. This last week and a half of this push-pull leg spread split is really about seeing how my shoulder's feeling. So I took a really wide grip. It took some off the chest, or I guess I would put it on the chest, I guess, but brought in some of that front delt and that front shoulder just to see how it feels. You see, not going super deep on the reps here, kind of hovering just above my chest, and it was feeling good. I had to really make sure I controlled the weight down. Obviously lightweight, 45 on each side. And so what I ended up doing after I figured out that it felt good, instead of going up in weight, I think on this set I just increased the reps. I started increasing the reps. I think the top set was 20 or 25 reps. And again, I mean, you do any weight enough, it will get heavy. It can be boring, I admit. But on something like this where you're recovering from an injury, or if you're just starting out, maybe that's the way to go. Kind of really get everything dialed in and start easing the weight up slowly. I think the biggest mistake a lot of new lifters make is going up too fast, because you'll get those initial gains. You're like, I'm King Kong, and then you go just a step too far, and now you got a bad lower back, or you got a shoulder torn up. And you can see here, getting up in those reps, you're really feeling that burn in the front shoulder and in the pec too. I was surprised. I was really feeling it in my chest as well. You can see it getting a nice little pump in my chest. But yeah, you just go a step too far, and you end up injuring yourself when you spend all your time recovering from the injury. So dial it back just a little bit. I mean, you're building your body, and the body's going to be with you your whole life. Somebody could have told me that whenever I was 15, I might not have made some choices I made back then. Then again, if you're young, who listens, right? Alright, now we have just regular hammer strength chest press. Took a little bit more narrow grip than usual here, and I think I have the seat a little bit higher than usual. So it's almost like slightly declined. Again, just 145 on each side, controlling that weight. think I'm doing sets of 15 here, just really controlling it, getting some blood flowing, feeling the pump. Pardon all my coughing. It always cracks me up in the gym because I'm an older guy. I'm 46. There's nothing to hide about it. About to be 47, or 47, about to be 48. Oof, I don't know. Any case, but I see guys that are my age or older, I think, in the gym, and they just got the machine stacked up with weight, doing like a 6-inch movement. Guys, if you end up watching this, whoever's watching this, nobody's impressed. It's not doing anything. You know, get you a good range of motion. And even this, what I'm doing is probably a partial range of motion, just keeping that focus on my chest. But at least there's a range of motion there. It's not like 6 inches. Now, on some exercises, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. But some, we all see those some folks in there. They don't have to be older guys, but just know we see you. And it's not impressive. It's more impressive if you drop the weight and get some good reps out of the thing, So like this, yeah, this is kind of a partial range of motion on the top end. I'm not completely locking out, so. Tried something new on the flies. So I gripped it right in my elbows. I saw an old Mike Mincer video where he's grading that guy. If you're in the weight training, you've probably seen it where he's grading the guy. But the guy was doing incline flies with the machine that was almost overhead, or maybe it was shoulders, I don't know. But he was gripping it by the elbows and it was padded. So this isn't padded. But I thought, why not try that on regular flies? And surprisingly enough, what I found is I was really able to distinguish where the fly movement was on my chest. Because the big problem with flies is when you're gripping with the hands and you open up, if you go too far, it transfers to your shoulder, which for me is a problem specifically because I have a shoulder injury that I'm recovering from. The other one is, it's not the exercise. If you're wanting to attack the pecs, you need to stay in that range of motion for the pecs. And I found that gripping with the elbow here really helped me stay. You see how my upper arm isn't coming back to there. It's not coming back that far, right? I'm really staying tight in that range of motion of the pec and just keeping a burn on the pec. And you can see the weight's not super high on the plates. I don't know, I think this deck goes up to 200, so I might be at, 130, 100 even, I don't know. But I'm really able to feel it. Now, one downside I found was I'm not able to really close it all the way because try touching your elbows in front of you. That's basically what you almost have to do. You see me trying to grab my hands there, it's a little, I want to lock my hands for a bear hug. But I found this was really effective. Now, it's not perfect, but it was a new feeling in my pecs from where I've done the flies before. So I recommend it. Try it out, see what you think. It would be really nice if there was a purpose-built machine like that. I think on the last set I ended up doing, on the heaviest one, I think this is at 160 pounds is where I finished. I had to reset the arms. So I just do the unilateral side because I can't go across center. But I bet you if we watch, I probably cheat a little bit with my forearm. I get some bend in the elbow. And then, I guess I keep it in front of me from in front of the shoulder. But it's almost like having it where you crook it in the elbow like that. You're taking all that extra movement out from your forearm, your wrists, your hands. You can just really bring it and feel that pec. I'll start doing it like that more regularly. I thought it was really effective. Probably have to dial in the seat position and that sort of thing. But I think it's worth trying. Again, anybody have any thoughts or any recommendations on that? Let me know. So finishing out the sets here. It's actually a good workout. I felt really good this workout. I was happy to going heavy on shoulder presses. Nice easy reps, taking it slow and easy. Alright, tricep push down. So here I ended up started with a regular V grip tricep push down. Again, I know my stance might be a little different from other people. I don't like having to put it on one side of my head or other. So doing it this way, you probably get a little bit more lat activation where that elbow is traveling forward a little bit. But I'm fine with that. Like I said, it's almost, to me, it's almost more of a natural movement. I almost imagine like a train, like the on the engine of a train, because my hand motion will end up making, I don't know, kind of a slightly oval or circular motion. For me, it just feels better than that really strict movement. Now, nothing wrong with a strict movement. Obviously, it works. But this just feels better to me. Full stack, get it, baby. Again, showing where my strength used to be and where it is now. I used to be able to do, 3 or 4 sets of 10 to 12 with the full stack. Alright, so I decided to go ahead and just do a burnout. Went to the single hand rope for tricep and just dropped the weight down. I don't know what this is, 25, 30 pounds. And just kind of going. I was already tired, but now I'm just going as many reps as I can before I kind of burn out. It's not an absolute failure, but just going until I feel my form kind of breaking down. You kind of see here, I just kind of set into it with my body. I don't know what it is about this shirt, but it almost makes me look like I'm wearing a bodysuit, like it's fake. Like the Iranian strongman that was calling out, I forget who he was calling out. But in any case. But it's almost obvious he's wearing a body. I look like I'm wearing the same bodysuit. Alright, down to one plate. Just getting the blood flowing. It's burning right now. You can see my face. I'm kind of miserable, but just get that blood pumping into the muscle. We already did the heavy part of the lift and the shoulder press, and then we did some heavy tricep push down. So now just pushing blood into the muscle. And a note on filming in the gym. So far, I've had no issues filming in the gym, knock on wood. But I'm really indiscreet about it. Like you see, I generally keep the camera. It's probably 1.5 feet, 2 feet off the ground on a small tripod. Once I start recording, I don't mess with it. I do a quick set. That's why a lot of my shots aren't the best, because I'm not taking a million years to set up a shot. When you're doing that, people are going to be looking at you, and the camera still gets some looks. But in general, it's always facing me. It's close enough. I have it on the wide lens, and it's facing me. And it's obvious that I'm not filming people. I'm filming myself, And then, you know what? If somebody ever walks between me and the camera, so what? You know what I mean? Just keep going. Don't make a big deal out of it. Everybody else is there to work out too. If they happen to walk in front of your camera, hell, if somebody had walked and knocked it over, it's not that big a deal, So this was, that was tough. Good burn on the triceps. Now, the other day we did some lat raises with the dumbbells. They were more of a side lat raise. Now these are more front. They're not quite the panda. Isn't that what they call them? Like the panda or butterfly front raises. It's just a normal just a front raise. Started out real light at 15 pounds. I know a lot of people say you're not supposed to or you shouldn't, but I tend to go above parallel with my arms to the ground, so meaning I go slightly above my shoulders. Just out of habit, I kind of started wide here. I might keep it there, but it's kind of just a movement I'm used to. So again, this is push B on our 6-day split. Just trucking the weight up. Jumped up to 45, a little bit heavy, if I remember right. I think I can get 4 or 5. So I widen my feet a little bit. And when you feel it getting heavy, give yourself a little English. Don't totally isolate your shoulder and tear it up. Again, this was more of a test. This last week and a half is going to be a test. Just kind of stress testing the shoulder before I go into actual strength program, because there's a specific strength program I want to run. So I didn't get enough reps. I just dropped the weight, go right back into it. I might only get 1 or 2 more, but got 4. Okay. Yeah, but I was tired by this. It was a good workout. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Stay strong out there.